In a strange prison, two aliens are visiting a willing captive. The prisoner asks if his queen Rita sent for him, and when informed she did not, he wants nothing more. The prisoner's name is Goldar, and he refuses to eat food the guards have provided for him. Rita will never allow him to leave, because he failed her. He lost her Green Ranger. Tommy wakes up at home, where he is comforted by his mother. However, he is alarmed when she tells him that she knows he is a Power Ranger, and exposes herself as Rita. As the Great Queen taunts the young man, he cries out, only to wake up, realizing it was all just a dream. The other Rangers are worried about Tommy, so they sent their robot servant Alpha to get the young man some water. Trini promises they will get to the bottom of this. In Rita's palace, the Queen announces that she can tell Tommy is close to breaking. She's not linked to the Green Ranger anymore, but she is still in tune with his powers. Scorpina apologizes for her earlier failure, and Rita dismisses this. In her eyes, Scorpina did fine. She did fail to get the power coin, but she drove Tommy into battle and pushed him into his limit. Rita's crystal is fueled by green chaotic energy, and their battle created much of it. And once they begin their final attack, they will be able to fully power the crystal and open a portal. The only other thing they need is the Dragon Dagger, and though Rita has lost that too, they can make another. This new dagger will be unstable, but it should be enough to open the portal. With a simple spell, the aliens sacrifice one of Rita's minions to create the unstable blade. Meanwhile, Trini begins a medical scan of Tommy. The young man notices the young Ranger's prowess over medicine, and she admits to having some interest in being a doctor one day. Trini asks how much Tommy remembers of being under Rita's spell, and though the young man doesn't reply, she can tell he remembers everything. She comforts the Green Ranger, saying this is the sort of thing her father went through, and though it takes a while to get over, there is hope. Suddenly, the two hear some noise outside. They rush out with Alpha, only for the small robot to be suddenly crushed by the Dragon Zord. The two quickly transform into Rangers, but Tommy can immediately tell something is wrong. He can't teleport into the Dragon Zord, so Trini tells him to stay low, and she summons her saber-toothed tiger. The two Zords do battle until Tommy is able to use his Dragon Dagger to distract Dragon Zord. It turns on him, and is about to devour him alive, when suddenly, Tommy wakes up back in the medical room. The whole incident was apparently some sort of vision. It is during this time that the other Rangers meet in the diner to discuss Tommy. Zack believes there's more going on here than what their new ally is telling them, and is having trouble trusting the Green Ranger. Though Kim is quick to defend Tommy, Zack points out the young man was handpicked by Rita and brainwashed by the evil woman. They don't know what exactly Rita did to the Green Ranger, and that makes Tommy dangerous. Zack still wants to give him a chance, but insists they need to be more careful. Jason, who has been quiet throughout this discussion, admits that Zack is right, and something is going on here. He wants to help too, but points out they can't do anything unless Tommy communicates and admits there is a problem. This talk ends early when they are called back to base by Trini. There is something they all need to see. Back at their headquarters, the Power Rangers are shown a scan of Jason's powers, which looks similar to how all the other Rangers look, except for one, Tommy. The Green Ranger's powers look considerably different. Zordon is quick to say that this might just be Tommy's body getting used to his new powers, but without more tests, he cannot say for certain whether or not Rita is involved. Tommy, who has up until now been quiet, finally admits that Rita has been appearing in his mind. The others, especially Zack, are upset and worried at this news. Jason points out that Tommy is making it difficult to earn their collective trust. Suddenly, the alarm sounds. Deep underwater, Scorpina has emerged with the Dragon Zord. The unstable dagger and Rita's crystal worked perfectly to give her full command of the mighty Zord. On the surface of an ocean, a couple on a cruise are enjoying the view. The woman is cold, but her partner warns her that this is the nature of the sea. You never know just how fast the weather can turn. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 3. I quite liked issue 3, mostly for the reasons I've already discussed in my reviews for issues 1 and 2. On the whole, the writing and art of these comics are done really well. The artist Henry Prosecha really shows his stuff in issue 3, especially when it comes to Zords. Seeing the Dragon Zord and Sabretooth in this issue was a lot of fun and kind of worth this comic's cover price alone. Kyle Higgins' writing is also on point, and the man does great work too. I really like the way he depicts the Power Rangers. He gives each member of the team a lot of things to do in depth in a very small amount of time. This is a great comic overall. One thing bothers me with issue 3 though, and it bothers me quite a bit. Not once, but twice are we given fake-outs in the form of Tommy's visions. On some level, that's okay, as it indicates Tommy's declining mental status and the ever-encroaching effects of Rita's influence. That's good old-fashioned character development on a very basic level. That piece with the Zords fighting and such felt like it was there not so much to develop Tommy's character, but instead insert a little bit of obvious foreshadowing and action in this comic where there would otherwise be none. That's okay, as comics do that sort of thing all the time. You want each issue to offer something of substance for the reader so they don't skip it until the next comic when something more interesting happens. However, when it comes to something like this as a writing technique, it is a bit cliche and convenient, and the comic thus far hasn't had to rely on such cheap tricks until now. I suppose it's just from the first 2 issues I was expecting a little more out of this one. This series, in my opinion, has been better than that up until now. Now don't get me wrong, I find the visions annoying, but not nearly enough that they ruin the comic itself. I still recommend Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 3, it's a well-made comic. If anything, I am increasingly convinced that these comics are so good that I'm getting a little bit spoiled. Not only do minor flaws like the vision stand out more because of the comic's otherwise outstanding quality, but I also think it's given me an artificially great opinion of Power Rangers as a whole. Looking over other adaptations of the franchise, I'm starting to think this one might be one of the better interpretations of the content thus far. That's fine, and great in fact, but it does mean the stuff I'm excited about for Power Rangers probably isn't as good as I would hope outside of this comic series. My dim memories of what little I have seen of the TV shows makes me think that the writing of this comic is way better than the writing in most of the shows, and the art, free from the confines of special effects, tends to make the Power Rangers look a lot better than anything the show could ever quite muster. Nevertheless, I am glad to be doing this. It's very cool to go into a franchise cold, knowing very little about the universe and its characters, and seeing what the comic can accomplish on its own. On that merit, the Power Rangers does a great job at not only introducing me to the franchise, but also getting me to become invested in the content. But yeah, if I ever do get into other Power Rangers stuff, I suspect I'm in for a bit of a rude awakening. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section below. I'm curious if there's other examples of outstanding work within the Power Rangers, or if, as I suspect, this is one of the better adaptations of the story. Anyhow, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.